solidify here over these last month or so?
Yeah, I think you're always pleased and you're always wanting a little bit more, right? I mean, that's the beauty of this time is you're trying to establish a foundation of fundamentals, techniques, alignment, assignment, right? And we're not really judging as much, oh, did he make the play or not? It's more, hey, can we break the huddle, or can we get a call in and go execute? And I think you're fairly pleased with where you're at right now.
Travis had the chance to switch jerseys there and then go out with the defense. Was that just a little bit of what to expect?
Yeah, I think so. That's definitely what we have to build towards for training camp, and then obviously in season, knowing that during practice he's going to have to do both. And so he wants to do it. It's not as if it's something where he can't handle. He wants to go and do that more. He wants more, and that's a good thing. But ultimately, we have to also protect him from himself at times as well, and make sure we get out of this phase healthy. But that is absolutely the plan moving forward.
What's your message to the guys now that everything's sort of wrapping up? They're about to go on break.
The work doesn't stop. Go enjoy family and get away from it a little bit. But we've got a lot of work to do this summer. We've got to come back in the best possible physical shape that we can be in coming into training camp. Not use training camp to get in shape. That's got to be something that we're hitting the ground running and able to just go once we get in here. And so, and they've got a lot of studying to do, right? They've got a lot of material to continue to cover so that, again, we're not starting back at square one when we come back in training camp. We will, in fact, go back to install one, but install one may be a little heavier than install one this spring. So ultimately, they've got some work to do this summer, and that was the message.
Your first off-season program as a head coach, just what was that experience like now that's all wrapped up?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's the highs and lows you ride a little bit as a head coach in terms of offense doing well, defense, special teams, all that. But in terms of the connection with the guys and getting to know them a little bit more on a personal level, and ultimately to gain trust, right? That's what this whole phase was for us as coaches, to implement a foundation, but also get to know these guys a little bit more on a personal level, so that we gain a little bit more trust. Ultimately, they're not going to just go do what you say because you're a coach. Like, we have to build a relationship and a foundation in order for those guys to trust us.
And I know
back to rookie minicamp, 16 sessions out here. Did it go as expected, or did something surprise you? Or
no surprises. It was very much what you would expect, just from learning, growing. But I have seen some improvement for sure out of a number of players, right? I don't have a true specific person that really stands out like, oh my God, there was huge strides here. But you just saw like a gradual understanding, gradual guys getting more comfortable in this setting, especially some of the younger guys. The speed of this game, practice is a lot faster than what they've maybe been used to at their college, and the guys are picking it all up, right? And if they don't know, that's been the cool part, is they haven't been afraid to ask. You see these guys up in our coaches' offices all the time, every morning. I mean, Devin Lloyd's in here every single day, right? These guys they're trying to learn and get as much out of it as possible.
Liam, what will you and your staff now work on until training camp begins?
Yeah, so continuing to trim the install and adjust our installs and say, okay, what do we really want to focus on in install 1 through 3? What do we want the next 3 installs to be? We typically go in 3s because that's how we'll kind of practice in a lot of ways with an off day. So tweak some of those, and then also getting a lot of the seasonal prep organized with whether it be the video staff, analytics, personnel. We've had a lot of those meetings already over the last few weeks, but just making sure that those things are getting a little bit tightened up and ready to go for training camp.
Go ahead, Justin.
With Trevor, I know you've done it a few times already this offseason, but could you just talk about his growth from where he kind of started in your system to where he is now?
Yeah, I think just calling a play, right? Like you go out here on day 1 of phase 2 and you're calling plays, and whether it be a call it and run it play, or a play with 2 calls, or a play with 2 calls and maybe a 3rd adjustment, just his ability to go in and command the huddle, call plays, communicate to his teammates, make protection adjustments. I mean, our defense, like I mentioned the other day, has thrown so many different blitz packages at us that multiplicity is great. It'll be really good for our foundation this fall, but he has to think every single play. Like, there's not a ton of plays that he can just shut his brain off and go hand it off. So that has been a huge kind of adjustment in some ways, but also growth, where he's shown the ability to go get us in the right plays, can to the right call, and make the proper calls. I think that's where you've seen the most growth.
Do you have a better feel for what you can get out of Danny Brown?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think when you watched him last year and you saw a little bit more of a ball in hand / deep threat, and you didn't really see him work the intermediate that much. And I think over the course of this spring, Trevor and him have gained a little bit of a chemistry on some of those, intermediate in-breakers, curls, maybe outcuts. I just think that they have a little bit of a chemistry, and that was part of the selling point to have him come here was, man, we really want to continue to diversify your route tree and have you do more, right? You're not just a screen, jet sweep, vertical threat. We want to continue to diversify his route tree, and I think that those two have built a little bit of a chemistry out here.
So when you first get here, you probably have an idea about what you want your offense to look like and what you think it'll look like. And after you go through spring, does that change markedly? No?
Not so much,
no?
but I think that really comes when the pads come on, because like out here, we're not really trying to emphasize gap schemes too much, because that's when those collisions can occur, when you're pulling people, trapping, whamming, pulling two. I mean, that's where a lot of those things that occur that aren't really supposed to occur in this phase, right? So we're trying to stay within the rules, but continue to get better at the zone game, right? That's obviously a little bit more of a safe run in this phase, but also something that we want to be able to do, right? Everybody runs zone in the NFL game. So I think today was actually some of our better hits on zone that we've had a couple better ones yesterday, but I think once you get into training camp, the run game will have to diversify a little bit more in terms of, all right, we got the pads on, where are our toss cracks now coming? I'm not going to go crack one of our players on our team. So those kind of schemes are a little bit more, we've practiced them in walkthrough settings so that we're getting it installed and we're getting it repped so we have some muscle memory, but ultimately that'll come a little bit more in training camp.
Yesterday you talked about wanting a clear day from your offense. I think today I heard Camp curse a little too many times with completed passes. Do you feel like you got that clear day from offense?
Definitely. Yeah, I thought it was just less balls on the ground in general, less procedures. There was less flags on the ground today thrown by our lovely referees that came from the NFL. It was great. Once those refs come, NFL guys come, it's real. They're throwing the real flags, and it was great having those guys in the building and hearing their reasons why, and so that definitely helped clean it up a little bit. And specifically offensively, I felt like it was just a better overall day. We wanted to leave here with good momentum and confidence that these guys can go and have and take through the offseason program.
Heavy emphasis on special teams today.
Yep.
Your thoughts on Cam Little and what he brings to us?
Man, he's a stud. You should see him hit a golf ball. I mean, it's like the same that you see out here. I mean, he's explosive. The ball jumps off his foot. He's got multiple different kicks in his repertoire in the kickoff game as well, which obviously we know with the new rule changes will be really imperative for us to be able to take advantage of some of those rules with the different type of kicks and styles of play. So he's been great, been really consistent, and he's really fun to be around.
Your first Father's Day in Florida, you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. We're heading out of here on Sunday here, so we'll be flying. We're traveling a little bit up north and going overseas to go hit the golf ball a little bit. So it'll be cool. I mean, it's always nice to be with the family, get away from it for a few days, but also it's really hard to get away from it in the mind.
You any good at golfing?
Like a 9. Yeah, a 9. So I mean, I can hit it. I can't putt, but usually it's something that you practice, and I don't have much time to practice it. I like to drive. I like to hit irons. I don't love to putt or chip.